tell the municipalities. So that puts us in a bind because the state's taken away money, and then what do we do to get it back? We go back to the taxpayers. I did have a conversation with, is it Ms. Goodell? Probably a year or so ago, and I said, look, you know, we all favor schools because it's a fundamental strength of any community. It's the backbone. I said, but your job is to go to the state and stand on the steps of the Capitol building if it's necessary and demand equitable funding for education, not just in Huber Heights, but in every community in the U.S. That's your job, and it's a really, really tough job. But I'm not running for office because this is an easy job.
I would like to follow up on your question as far as how the city and the schools can work together. And one thing that I have learned by talking to the residents of Huber Heights, a lot of people are on fixed incomes. And when the school and the cities are putting levies on the ballot at the same time, and then you have another one for Montgomery County, a lot of people have to choose which one is a priority. They have to choose between if they're going to have medicine or if they're going to have food. And one way that I think that they could maybe get away from that is to split up. If the school is going to have a levy on the ballot, then the city should back off and put one on the ballot later on. Yes. Because most people cannot pass all three levies at the same time.
That's overwhelming.
Well, one problem is that, okay, so you pass it one time and other taxing entry can do as another levy, you're still paying, you end up paying all of it.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
My name is Brian Maryland. I've already heard Shada's point on parks. I'd like to get the rest of your opinion. Parks are very important for a healthy and growing community. They provide, you know, recreation for our youth. They also provide a place for our citizens to come and spend. What would the three of you like to see happen in our parks? And how can we utilize this great park that we have just north of I-70 with Five Rivers Metro Park?
I'll go ahead and take on first of that. And like Glenn said, parks is our community. And to your point, not only have I coached baseball here in Huber Heights for the past 3 years, I've also sat on the board of directors, as I currently do, for Little League, and who's operated in this town for quite some time. And when you go down to a park such as Cloud Park, Shawgate, Cottonwood, and many others throughout the city, those sports organizations, and same as Warrior Classics and rec, soccer, Pee Wee, the whole 9 yards, those organizations are the ones that's putting in 100% to make those areas usable and attractable, for the community. For example, baseball season last year, not only with Brick City, but with Little League. We were handling our trash. We were mowing the lawns. We were painting the lawns for the kids of the community. So it's all about how can we actually have a Parks and Recreation department that makes sense and serves the community. And to your other point, and I just attended the last Parks and Rec committee at City Hall, and one of my comments was, let's get it out there to the citizens. What the citizens can get out of their parks. With the upcoming pickleball idea, with an idea that's been tossed around of disc golf tournaments down at Community Park. Let's bring these parks, let's hold community events there, let's hold community festivals, let's bring the pride back to our parks and make them usable for our citizens.
And I totally agree with what Richard said. One thing that I would like to see in the parks, and I went to a council meeting and listened to a woman who came up and gave, it was just alarming statistics on our parks versus the surrounding areas. And one thing that I learned is we do not have one lighted park, one lighted field in Huber Heights. And that's sad because we have a very big sports, and we love our sports, and we need to take care of our children. It keeps them out of trouble. It gives them something to do, and it makes them better citizens for the future. And so we need to work with the YMCA, because we are paying them $150,000 a year to maintain these, but it seems like their role really is just to book the little venues. But I would like to see the YMCA be a little more involved and helping us out, and possibly sponsoring, using that $150,000, activities, not only for the elderly, but for the the middle-aged people, our young adults, and our youth. We need to bring the community together to foster pride and bring our integrity back.
I want to put out real quick, unfortunately I would stand here all day and talk. I'd be happy to.
Yes, we do.
But I want to respect the cafe. I know their normal closing time's 3:30 today, and we certainly don't want to pull them back. So I do want to thank them immensely for having us here and hosting this today. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
And I would especially like to thank Mr. Mark Bruns with our Chamber of Commerce for coming out today.
Thank you.
With that, we'll kind of mill about a little bit, and if you'd like to hit us one-on-one, that's fine. But we're going to be doing more of these. We encourage you all to come out, and we do have,
Thank you so much.
as Richard said, multiple ways to contact us.
There's also a binder up there that if you want to, if you have questions, or if you want to just kind of put your name,
Like that,
your contact information, they can follow up with you. You can, do coffee, or organize your own thing that they can come to. But there's a binder up there if you would like.
I have bio information if you'd like it, and cards if you need contact information as well. Thank you. Good.